to reference. So let's pan the screen down and let's have fun placing some components in the model. I'll start with some easy ones. Let's click and release on the bathroom and drop that to the model. We can also click on the corner to then reposition it. So since you didn't create these components yourself, sometimes it's difficult to know where the inserting position is going to be of that particular object. So what I suggest is just click on the desired component, move your cursor, and then you can begin to see where you're actually inserting from. So for the dining room table, it's in the center of the object. I scroll down further and click on the sofa with end tables. You'll see it's the bottom left-hand corner. And this is going to be model or component specific. So don't think what works here in this file is going to work for every component. Let's click on the sink and drop that here at the midpoint. Let's add the oven over here on the left side. Let's add the refrigerator, maybe right here. And then let's go into the private areas. So let's add this king size bed, add the full size bed, click and release, and click and release to bring it tighter. Let's drop in a closet, add a little bit tighter, and even a chase lounge here. Click and release to set that. Do not feel like you have to follow this exact floor plan layout for the furniture. Be creative. Make the rooms what you want. Search the 3D warehouse for some other items. This is just a template to get you started. You can always change the layout and configuration of it to meet the design need that you want. To finish up the placement of a few objects, let's click on this component number 2, which simply is a bar stool that just wasn't named. So sometimes when users create components or subcomponents, they just aren't named. And then the other thing that we can do is once we have furniture in the model, we can take the select tool and select existing lines, and we can move those. So if we realize we now need less cabinet space, we can move that line over, and then we can take our refrigerator and move that over as well to give some space for our entry. You can also rotate objects. So I can select the chase lounge. You can click on the move tool, hover over it, and click on that plus sign to angle this 45 degrees and then move it down just a little bit. Let's zoom out once more, and we now have all of these duplicate items up here. So once they're in the model, we don't need them anymore up top here. So take the select tool and drag a window around the selection of those objects, and then press the delete key on your keyboard. We're almost finished now. A good way to wrap up would be to label the rooms, identify them. And in order to add labels, we need to use the 3D text tool. You can find the 3D text tool under the drawing tools here and in the 3D text right here, which is the A icon. Go ahead and click on that. And I'm going to do this in all caps. I'm going to type the word kitchen in all capitals. And the only other things that I'm going to change here is I'm going to uncheck text extrusion. So I don't need this to be a dimensional or extruded letter. I can just have it be flat in 2D like the rest of our model. Go ahead and press OK, and then move your cursor to place the text in the model. Let's repeat this again. So we'll click on the drawing tools here, then click on the 3D text tool. Let's type in living and click OK. Place our living room over here. And let's do this again. Click on the drawing tool, click on 3D text. Let's type in bath and click OK. Put this in the bathroom. And we'll just continue the process. Type in bedroom or whatever you've labeled these other rooms as. Click OK. Place it. And I could either move and copy this, or I can click on this again and press OK. And then click and release to set it. One other thing that we can do here to just make the model look a little bit nicer is instead of having this be sort of an outline text for the labels, let's have it be more of like a solid fill. So click on the paint bucket located right here and click on this black color swatch right here. That's going to activate that material. And now I'm going to click on the text of each label. And this can be a little tricky. You might need to zoom in just a little bit. Just make sure that the bucket, so that paint, where the paint is spilling out, make sure that's on an actual object. If it's not going to apply it. So make sure it's right on that point there. I'll click on the select tool just to click off of any existing object. And now we're pretty close to finalizing this. There's just a few more steps we need to finish in order to be able to export this out as a 2D floor plan. The first is we typically don't print this on a green background. Now, seeing this on a green background right now for the default template is nice in that it allows us to see what is a fill and what is not, but this isn't what we'd want to export. So over on the right, click on the styles panel, and you'll notice we're in what's referred to as the landscape architecture style. I'm going to click on default styles and then select the shaded with texture style. Shaded with texture is a nice style that shows the background white and it creates a nice, clean, crisp line work. We don't have those really heavy profile edges. And you can see now it looks more like a true 2D drawing. While we're here, let's also orbit. You can kind of notice and see that Catherine is still in our model and we don't need her in the model anymore. So let's just take the select tool and press delete. To export this out as a 2D view, we need to set our view and we also need to turn off the axes so that it's not visible. Let's turn the axes off first. So up in the search SketchUp toolbar, I'm going to type in the word axes, and where it says view axes, let's just click on that slider. That's going to turn it off from the model. Next, over in the scenes manager, let's click on the top view here. And that's going to bring us to a nice clean top view. We can then click and close the side panel. Finally, let's save the model. So let's go up to the menu, up in the top, click Save As. I'm going to save it in my SketchUp folder that I've previously created, or you can create your own folder. And I'm just going to call this Lesson 1 Finished. And click Save. You, of course, can name this whatever you want for your specific need. So that simply saves the SketchUp file so that we can get back into it. What if we wanted to just save a view that we have here? One way we can do that is by clicking on the menu and clicking Print. And now, based off of our paper size, we can save this as a PDF that is very easy to print out or attach to an email and be viewable from any web browser.